A Maga cafe owner is having a bit of a meltdown over the fact that he had to close his newest cafe just 6 weeks after it opened because, in his words, the snowflakes have screwed him over. Now, this is a sort of story that you might think, we've heard this sort of thing before. What makes it interesting is this isn't in America, it's in Australia. This guy decided to open like a pro-Trump cafe in Australia, and oops, didn't turn out to be a great business, which is interesting. But let's talk about it and what he did to exacerbate the sort of baked-in problem of what he was trying to do. We're talking about Mark Da Costa. He opened Bueno Eatery in St. Peter's in March after closing down his Waterloo cafe, Hale and Hearty, in 2020, after being involved in a series of internet controversies in which he called a community member a homophobic slur. So this goes back a number of years. His out and out homophobic and in some cases racist behavior, but we want to give you sort of a brief history of it. So Da Costa, Hale and Hearty, we're gonna cover first. So Hale and Hearty was a vegan restaurant, which is my favorite detail of this entire thing. This guy who's like attacking people, the LGBTQ community, talking about Trump and everything. It was a vegan restaurant. Anyway, he declared it to be a Donald Trump safe zone, and he specifically said that it served pancakes with a side of racism to vegans. Okay, so he ended up posting a bunch of unhinged and offensive stuff online. If anybody criticized the restaurant, he'd attack them in very wild terms and everything. We have sort of an example of that. This was posted on Hale and Hearty, the previous restaurant, saying, after the inbox abuse we received by community members of the LGBT and gay community, I get they're separate. I get. Does he know what the G stands for in LGBT? Does that mean like he'll be back with more? I don't know. But also the gay community for being Trump supporters. We thought it was appropriate to classify ourselves now a safe zone in Waterloo for the straight community. We are safe now for the LGBT, gay, black, white, Asian, Trump, Biden, bisexual, bilingual, Mexican, and Hillsong community. If we missed any group, please feel free to single us out and educate us like normal. It's a growing list for this politically correct society you all built. Again, I don't think they're being politically correct. You're the one who advertised a side of racism. This is the weird thing about right wingers, where they will punch you in the face. And then if you complain about it, they'll be like, well, everybody's a snowflake these days. You decided to make it a political thing, and it apparently was an unwise position. So that cafe closed down. He attacked left-wing fake vegan people for not wanting to be insulted, I guess. And then he decided to make his other place, Bueno Eatery. He said that he had grown up and had hoped to move on from the Trump controversies with his latest venue. He said that the previous stuff that had happened, that was a product of pandemic confusion, financial stress, and alcohol. Maybe mostly the last one, I don't know. But anyway, he'd grown up, but that didn't actually end up working out. And a lot of people maybe like they had a sour taste in their mouth from his previous comments. Anyway, his most recent place closed down pretty fast too, and he's freaking out yet again. He apparently said in a statement, Newton was infested with rats and hairy men. What an S-hole. Releasing a song about it in June so that you can be offended by it. Effing snowflakes, the lot of them. So I don't know why he's freaking out now. Presumably it's not the pandemic because we're past that. Maybe it's financial stress. Maybe it's the alcohol. I don't know, David. What do you think?
Well, if he's in Australia, he's probably in even worse shape now because the Conservatives just took a bath in their most recent election, which was the second straight, set of elections where Conservatives, following Canada, where Conservatives who were expected to do well did poorly, thanks to Donald Trump. So not only is he out a couple restaurants, he's probably also lost some of his leadership in the Australian government. This is strange in all sorts of reasons because generally Australians have a sense of humor. And yes, there are some conservative Australians and liberals and all that, but they're not quite as crazy or deranged as this guy sounds. And it just makes me wonder if maybe he's going to be the OAN correspondent based in Melbourne or Sydney, because it sounds like he would fit in.
Yeah, he could do some voice of America work. Yeah, I know. Again, look, you can set up whatever business you want, and you can, as a business person, have whatever political views you want, and you can express. You're free to go on Facebook and post deranged screeds against your target customer base. But then when that doesn't work as a business, which of course it's not going to, you complaining about it, like what are you expecting at this point? Like sympathy? Like, first of all, don't like more than half of all restaurants close within 9 months. Like it happens. It's a tough industry to like whine about it, but in particular to whine while calling everyone else snowflakes. You're the one frequently using Facebook as a replacement for therapy. Like, why are you complaining so much if you're the tough guy? That I will never understand. Again, I could open up a restaurant and I could get in the face of Maga and be all aggressive about it. And if it doesn't work, then that's the path I chose. It wouldn't make sense for me to complain about it online. That's the thing that bothers me the most. It's not that he was like inarticulate or offensive or whatever. It's that he feels apparently like he was owed success. And that I don't understand. I speculated on the damage report this morning that maybe he just spends too much time on like online right-wing communities on Twitter and Facebook and has been indoctrinated to think that everybody thinks that way. But I don't think it travels. I don't think it travels that well in America, let alone to Australia. Any final thoughts?
Well, most restaurants are about the food. So imagine if in all this time that he's been spending worrying about, his political views and espousing different things on online media, if he was actually looking up, I don't know, recipes for barramundi fish or whatever it is, sort of, native to Australia, and was able to prepare that kind of fish better than any place else. That's the way you get customers. And then, oh, by the way, once his food is really good and unique and tasteful, okay, if he wants to have some political jokes in his restaurant, then I guess that's sort of up to him. But yeah, it seems like he was focused on the wrong thing first.
Yeah, this is not how you draw in customers. But anyway, let's see. Let's see. Do we have any more comments? I'm gonna jump into a couple of things people are saying over on YouTube. Jonathan had said, I was talking to a Republican about the Palestine-Israel thing, and he was proud of supporting Israel. He said, quote, "Hey, I don't like the Jews," then started talking about Christianity. I'm confused about that person. But hey, Dave, you've spoken to a lot of people, including a lot of Republicans. The thought process is not always an easy path for a sane mind to follow. I don't know.
Maybe they don't realize that a lot of Israelis are Jewish, or maybe they make some sort of distinction between Israelis who generally are not as religious as American Jews generally. I'm not quite sure where that Republican goes.
Yeah,
but, confusion for sure.
Yeah, let alone the fact that there are people of all different religious faiths in Israel, including atheists, and in Gaza there's not just Muslims, there's Christians as well, there's Jewish people as well. Like everybody, it's tough to know a lot. And obviously I think I enthusiastically admit the things that I don't know and I'm not an expert on, including, by the way, Australia and vegan cafes. But everybody likes to simplify things. Okay, let's see. Okay, Dragon Shepherd says, by the time that his orangeness is just Agent Orange again, a number of US states may be Canadian provinces. Look, again, it was never gonna happen, but I would have liked to have seen Mark Carney make a joke about making America like the newest Canadian province or something. Like, oh my God, right-wing heads would explode if he made a joke like that. I have a feeling there'd probably be quite a few Americans in border states, blue states, that would probably be down for that, actually, for healthcare, if nothing else. Plus access to all of that amazingly hard Canadian wood. Bach says, taking back Canada at this point would be like taking back an ex, which is like eating your own vomit. You just don't do it out of self-respect. I think I could understand that from the point of view of Canada taking America back at this point, but like we broke up with Canada, not the other way around. And let's see. Finally, Dragon Shepherd says, if Trump keeps slouching, soon he's gonna look his head is growing straight out of his chest. He needs to start doing neck exercises soon. He doesn't seem like the exercise type to me. So I have a feeling he's just gonna continue to Rudy Giuliani himself more and more over time. It's a path we all must eventually go down towards. But anyway, with that said, I think that's it for the bonus episode. David, as always, it's a pleasure to get a chance to talk politics with you. Thank you so much.
John, pleasure was mine. A lot of fun to be on with you as always. And that last comment about Donald Trump and his health, I think that's the next big story to watch. In all seriousness, it does seem like he's getting slower and losing some of his mind a little bit and even more deranged than ever. So I don't want to say that he's on death's door, but he's moving in that direction.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, he's had a couple of weird hand bruises recently, which he's an elderly man. It happens, or whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. But remember, that was happening to Mitch McConnell before he started just gazing off into the distance for long periods of time. And yeah, Trump's brain has been on shaky ground for quite some time. But yeah, I'll be tracking that as well. And for everyone out there, thank you for being members of the show, that you get access to this bonus episode. Reminder, as always, I'm the host of the Damage Report. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing the show solo. It's a John Solo show. So don't leave me alone. Come hang out with the Damage Report in the morning, and maybe Marjorie Greene will respond to my clip about her today. And if that happens, I'll address her once again. Let's find out together.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.